Here we are in this second week after Easter. And like you, I am experiencing all sorts of emotions in these strange and unprecedented times. I think I should introduce myself as I'm relatively new to Holy Comforter. My name is Judy Mathis. In June of 2019, my husband, Sonny, and I moved to Colorado from Florida, where we lived for nearly 40 years. For the last 16 years we were in Florida, I was a deacon at St. James Episcopal Church in Ormond Beach. And I was engaged full-time in pastoral care and outreach. We moved so we could be near one of our children. Our son, daughter-in-law, and 8-year-old grandson live in Lafayette. And if we ever doubted that we made the right move, the events of the past few months have made us even more grateful that we have family nearby. A few years ago, I was struggling with where I found myself in life. One morning, as is my custom, I read a daily devotion from Forward Day by Day. And it was just what I needed to hear to set my heart right. So I tore it out and I put it in my journal, where I still read it every 3 or 4 months. I don't know who the author was, but it seems so fitting for this time we find ourselves in that I want to share it with you. The author writes, "The resurrection of Jesus Christ lies at the heart of the Christian story. The belief that Jesus of Nazareth is raised from the dead 3 days after his crucifixion galvanizes and transforms Jesus' first followers, and it galvanizes his followers for generations to come. Yet, this core belief may evoke more perplexity than any other. Because of its depth, its bold claims, and its manifold meanings, the resurrection encourages wonder and reflection." And this is the part that still speaks to me. The author goes on to write, "This morning, for a few moments, I give myself over to contemplating this mystery. What it means that new life always awaits on the other side of any ending. Relief on the other side of trial. Resolution on the other side of crisis. Consolation on the other side of desolation. Reconciliation on the other side of rupture. What it means is that there is always more." I think the gospel for this coming Sunday illustrates this devotion very well. It's the story of the 2 disciples and their walk to Emmaus. I can just feel the disappointment and desolation of the 2 folks as they walk along and discuss all the terrible events that had just taken place. Most of you know this story. It's of the 2 disciples who have left Jerusalem on Easter morning to return to their home in Emmaus. And they feel hopeless. Along the way, Jesus joins them, and of course, they don't recognize him. He asks why they're so sad, and they can't believe he doesn't know what has taken place. So after a lengthy description of what has happened, Jesus interprets to them the things about himself in all the scriptures. Well, they still don't recognize him. But out of hospitality, as it's getting late, they invite him to stay with them as they approach their home. And as they are at the table, Jesus took the bread, blessed it, broke it, and gave it to them. And then they recognize him, and he vanishes from their sight. Of course, they immediately get up and return to Jerusalem to tell of seeing Jesus. Can you just imagine going from the depths of despair to the ecstasy of seeing Jesus alive? As the devotion I read earlier says, the resurrection means that new life always awaits on the other side of any ending. Relief on the other side of trial. Resolution on the other side of crisis. Consolation on the other side of rupture. What it means is that there is always more. My prayer for you and for me is at this time of trial for the whole world, we remember that there is always more.